Hi, I'm back, and I think video gaming's game gaming was not. I just kind of went into gaming because those videos got really popular, but I'm not a very good gamer in terms of YouTube because I don't think I have very good commentary, so I'm gonna try drawing because I'm pretty good at that. So there's this monster thing that I've had a pretty I've drawn it quite a lot. I call it the Friday monster because I drew it on a Friday because it was Friday. It's like a French fry uh box, or what do you call that bag? I don't really know. As you can see right now, it's tipped over. I don't really remember why. Guess it was just easier for what I was doing. Next, I'm gonna add the eye. Right, I made it like this because it looks pretty uncomfortable, and that is actually, now I think about it, I don't know where I was going with that. Probably had some sort of importance with it looking uncomfortable, but I don't exactly remember why it was important. Right now I'm drawing the iris. It's pretty tedious. It's a bunch of lines, but drawing each individual line comes with a great level of detail that can normally be seen fairly well in artwork. Now I'm shading it. Yeah, no, I haven't. As you know, this is my first time making a video like this, so don't really know what to say. This is the shine for the eye. Oh, shit, was it focusing on my hand the whole time? Okay, now it's good. And I'm just gonna color in the pupil. In fact, I think I'll actually do a cut. Okay, my brother and sister are playing in the other room, so if you hear any noises, that's what the noises are from. It's still focusing on my hand. Okay. Is that good? Yeah, it's good. Okay. Now I'm gonna be not focusing. I'm gonna be shading the whites of the eyes. Oh yeah, I added these little bits on the end. Don't know what they're called. I know that they're in real eyes. And yeah, I mean, shading this is pretty similar to shading all the other stuff. I know most of the time you want to do all the outlines before the shading, but this is just kind of the way my brain works. Or I like shading something before moving on to the outline next things. Okay, next thing I'm gonna work on the body. It's probably gonna take a while, but basically what I'm doing is I'm adding these little wrinkles like this. And I'll just kind of be adding them all around the place. Just following the motion of the body, kind of like a. Sometimes I like to imagine it as a water current rippling from the edges or from whatever thing is on the body. I don't do wrinkles like this for all my things, but I think sometimes adding wrinkles like this can really help add to the detail and overall wow factor of a drawing. Okay. Yeah, this part is also pretty boring. I feel like I should say something to cut the silence, but I don't really know what to say. I think about it, I am filling the silence out by saying I don't have anything to fill it out. But and I guess I could talk more about the thought process. Yeah, I explained pretty much all of the thought process. I mean, I could talk about like my history of drawing, since this is my first drawing video, and I haven't really shown much interest in drawing in any of the other videos. And like most kids, I started when I was pretty young. I used to draw little comics, mostly. I had this character named Super Isaac, obviously named after myself. And actually, now I think about it, I still do have Super Isaac as a character. I greatly remodeled the design though. Before, he was kind of like a lot of circles mostly, and his hair was just sectioned off with a line from the rest of his body. Body, like head. I have been going back and forth on whether the hair should be purple or a dark blue, because Super Isaac himself is a lighter blue. And I think I'll shade the body. Where was I going with that? He also changed in the superpowers. I just noticed I'm talking about a different drawing while drawing this, but I haven't really come up with much of a story or anything for this character. So I guess I'll continue talking about Super Isaac. At first, they start off with the ability to copy any superpower he's come in contact with. And when I was way younger, he just had every power. But now he has, and he's still pretty strong though, he has Toon Force, which, as most of you might know, is the strongest superpower someone could have, I think. Yeah, probably. It's one of them. There's more that even sometimes have similar effects, but Toon Force is really high up there. Yeah, and I guess that's all I really have to say on that topic. Should I do another cut? I don't know. I could just leave you in the silence like I've been doing with the pauses in my sentences. Can you hear the pencil sound? I mean, I think you can, it's pretty loud. You might be able to also hear the playing in the background. That's also pretty loud. I wouldn't recommend coloring like this, where it's staying static. Normally, I move the page around as I'm shading, but for sake of having a consistent YouTube video, I'm just moving my body around more. I think I'm almost finished shading. Yeah, almost finished. And just about finished. Looks good. Now I'll move on to this part. I haven't drawn the outlines for this yet. I'm just gonna have little arms sprawled about in different positions. This one's gonna be clawing. I always do one up here where it's coming out and it's just kind of feeling around in the head. I don't know why I always do that, but I do. Then this one's gonna be sort of laying back. Oh, sorry, the camera wasn't pointed. These are really small arms. I gotta make them bigger. Normally, I draw the French fry monster in a smaller space in a planner or in, like, you know how math always has those little squares where you do problems? I sometimes draw them in the blank space of those. This is not a very common thing for me to draw. I've never drawn it at a larger scale before. I'd say I'm doing pretty good though. Okay. And I think one more arm should be enough. Okay, how's that look? Yeah, looks good. Now I'll start shading the arms. This is a pretty simple process. It definitely doesn't take as long as shading the body or the pupil. Just gonna be actually in the time it takes to color one arm, in the normal smaller scale I would have drawn it at. It takes the same amount of time to shade in all of the arms. I also have less arms normally in the smaller drawings. uh, again because of the size. So I didn't really know what to do with most of them for this one. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to be keeping it like this. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go to some weird angles to shade these arms. Might be worth it to just actually rotate the page instead. Maybe. Anyway, I've been surprisingly good at finding things to say. Better than I'd think I would normally. In fact, talking to you guys might actually help me with my social skills, because part of the reason I'm so good at drawing is because I'm really quiet at school, so I have a lot of free time on my hands, and since I really liked drawing, I just had a lot of time to draw. And talking to you might help me talk more in real life. Well, I mean, I'm technically in real life right now, but in my actual life, it's probably gonna help. I'm on my second to last arm, meaning that the drawing is nearly finished. For me, time really flies while I'm drawing. Let me see how much time it took. Oh, 14 minutes. I'd say it's a good amount of time, a good length for a YouTube video. I was really worried it was gonna be like 5 minutes or something. And finally, I'm on the fingers. And yep, now I'm finished with the French fry monster. I think I'll add a shadow below. Okay. Just starting out really dark, and then I'm spraying out more on the sides than frontward and backward. Actually, I don't even know why I'm explaining to you this, because it's fairly obviously how perspective works. And I'm done. So goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.